Hey Cancer, welcome to your weekly forecast for November 4th through the 10th. We're going to connect here and see what's coming up for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to pick this deck here for what's happening in the week, and then we're going to pull a spirit message for you from that deck there. Okay, we're going to jump right on in here, see what's happening. We are in Mercury retrograde, but I always say, guys, look, we've survived so many Mercury retrogrades as is. We will survive this one as well. We will get through. We will be okay. But let's see what's happening for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the week ahead. Here is your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All right, my darlings, let's see what is happening for Cancer. So first and foremost here, we have loss. So it says grief, sadness, and resurrection. I want to clarify something about this card. I don't want you guys to be in too much of a panic, like, oh my God, something is going to happen, or I'm going to experience some loss in the beginning of the week. For some of you, there could be potentially something like that, but we're coming into a really, really significant shift and some energetic changes that are going to be happening for us in the next couple of weeks. And as we're coming into the Taurus full moon, we are coming into a time of release. So I feel that for the majority of you, Cancer, this sense of loss has to do with loss coming from things that you have been realizing that have been holding you back, or just things that you, certain situations or people or relationships that you haven't really been wanting to release, that maybe haven't been very good for you. And so as we're coming into this Taurus full moon, and as we're coming into this particular Mercury retrograde, I'm not an astrology expert by any means, but from what I've read and what I've heard from several astrologers that I like to follow, this Mercury retrograde is actually going to be a beneficial one, along with the Taurus full moon, and it's going to bring in really permanent changes. So there's going to be some permanent shifts and changes that are happening in your life. And every beginning happens because there is some kind of something ending, right? So there's going to be a release in that way for a lot of you. Even when you look up in this card, there's a sense of like a moon here, right? So this is telling me this is going to be associated with most of you with the release that's happening in the Taurus full moon. So it could be a symbolic loss, not necessarily a physical one, but definitely in the past having to, be done, and it's a resurrection, like you're coming out of it, like the phoenix rising from the ashes. So if any of you have Scorpio in your chart, you may be feeling that Scorpio element very, very powerfully the next couple of weeks. Okay, I don't want this to scare you. Understand and know that when this comes up, Spirit is bringing it up to prepare you not to be a negative Nancy, not to put negativity out there, but just to let you know that, hey, you're about to come into a phase of release, of being able to let go of what no longer serves you. And for a lot of you, Cancer, I feel this is coming in by way of a revelation, like some truth is being revealed to you. So say maybe you were wanting to give somebody the benefit of the doubt, or you were holding off about a situation and you were like, oh, well, let's see, maybe it's going to change, or maybe it's, maybe it's not that bad. I feel for a lot of you, there's a truth that's going to be revealed to you that's going to make it absolutely clear that it's time to walk away from something, or to let something or someone go. It doesn't necessarily have to be in your love life. It could be, but not necessarily. But I do feel there's going to be a truth coming in that's making it very clear to you who is for you and who is not for you, and what is for you and what is not for you. Your Wednesday and Thursday card here, you guys are really going to be really, 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 really very strongly, my dears, feeling that moon energy. I really feel it, okay? Full moon is happening on the 12th. This reading is going in through the 10th. But I always say that a lot of people will feel the moon energy 3 days before, sometimes even a week before. And Cancer, you all tend to be sensitive to moon energy. A lot of the Cancers that I have known anyway have been very sensitive to moon energy. And so you, again, here we had kind of that moon element with this card here. You have Moonlight Goddess coming in here. So this is letting us know, my dears, that you're coming into this energy of really being impacted by this Taurus full moon, even though you may not be a Taurus. So this is a card about releasing repressed emotions and being able to release, okay? So this is telling me, again, this is confirmation. What did I tell you guys, Cancer? I said I felt like that first card was because it was going to be a time to let go of what's not serving you or what hasn't been for you and what you've been holding, you know, back or pushing down. And when we come into the full moon, it's definitely a time of letting things go and being able to let go of emotions that we've been holding on to. So you all might be kind of emotional in this week, right? The full moon is happening on the 12th. So this is, you know, we're kind of coming into like a week ahead at this point here. And so a week ahead, you're feeling the moon energy a week ahead. And some of you are going to be feeling like you're like crying easily or tired or like just things are getting to you more. Just do what you can to take care of yourself. Self-care is going to be really important for you, Cancer, in the middle of the week. And I feel like some of you are like needing like physical touch, like you're needing physical comfort, okay? So, you know, maybe you don't have friends or people you're comfortable, you know, hugging or asking for a hug, or maybe you don't have like a relationship or a romantic partner, but you can do other things, okay? You can try to go get a massage, or maybe go get a pedicure, or maybe go somewhere and like have your hair done, or do something like, you know, just, you know, wearing pajamas or nice warm blankets or things just that feel really good against your skin. But do what you can to try to, you know, create some sense of like a physical comfort, because I feel that a lot of you, for whatever reason, Cancer, like you're yearning for touch, not even necessarily in a sexual way. Like you're just yearning to physically feel comforted. And so, you know, try to think of ways that you can bring this into your life, even if you don't have people that you're comfortable cuddling up with or asking for a hug, right? So that's why I mentioned some of those examples. You might be able to come up with some on your own. But I really, really feel, Cancer, that it's going to be really important for you this week not to overcram your schedule, not to fill up your calendar, not to make commitments to things. You might have people asking you, oh, can you do this later? It's okay to just be like, you know what, let's play it by ear. Can I let you know a little bit before? There's a lot going on, because I really feel like some of you are going to need some downtime. And I really feel that this week is going to really fluctuate for you. There's going to be times and periods where you really want to be around people, and there's going to be times and periods where you just kind of want to be alone. I don't think it's going to be the same all across the board. So just like I said, leave things open, leave things flexible. And above all else, listen to your body. I feel a lot of you are going to be feeling a lot of this release in the physical body. And so it's important that you listen to what your body's asking you for. Does it need water? Does it need a nice, nourishing, comforting meal? Does it need sleep? Does it need rest? You know, does it need to move around? Listen to your body, because I really feel a lot of you are feeling this release in a physical way. Your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Cancer, is Zen Garden. This is kind of like our stalker card so far. It's come up a couple of times already, right? So this is about creating a sense of sanctuary. So I kind of feel like for some of you, this week is going to be about hunkering down. Maybe some of you are staying in more than you are going out, and creating some kind of space for you so that you can work on your inner peace, right? People always say that, oh, if you want to have, you know, like whatever your environment around you is because of your internal environment. And there's truth in that, right? Like people who have situations with hoarding or cluttering. And I'm not saying you guys are hoarders or clutterers, But people who have issues with that, it's because there's a lot going on emotionally, a lot that they're holding on to, a lot of things that they're having a hard time releasing. So their physical environment looks that way. And so, you know, or if things around you are messy, it's because inside you might be feeling scattered or agitated. But it goes hand in hand. It's not that easy to say, okay, let me get my feelings right, and then my environment's going to magically come together. It's like you kind of have to work on both at the same time. And like I said, some of you might have a very neat and tidy place, but what you need to do is to create a sense of sanctuary, like to put a touch on it that makes you feel comfortable to be there, that makes you feel welcomed to be there. Even if you live alone, you want to come to a place that is welcoming to you, that feels like your sanctuary, that feels like your safe place, that has, you know, things that feel good or that you like to have to look around. Like when you guys watch my videos, I always have setups and things, and yes, it's fun to do, but I also feel like it's very welcoming. It's just like a very relaxing thing to open up and to communicate with spirit. It's a sense of home, right? And so you need to create a sense of home for yourselves at home, and especially if you're living with other people, especially if you have, you know, roommates or, just some place where there's a lot going on, even if it's just a tiny little corner somewhere, or just a little chair back out in the yard or on the back porch or something, just somewhere where you can sit and be with your thoughts and be able to disconnect and have some peace and quiet. If you can do this, this is going to help you more than even like if you're in the beginning stages of meditating and you've been struggling with that. This is going to be like a meditation for you, and this is going to create a sense of sanctuary. So, you know, and have things that are comforting for you. If it's your music, you know, putting your little earbuds in, listening to music, or having your crystals and candles, or a book and a blanket, whatever it is, just to give you a sense of, here is my little safe haven. Here's where I can go and just kind of unwind and disconnect from everything and take a little mental vacation, you know, every single day. Like, just have a little bit of you time. So think of ways that you can kind of create this in your environment. You don't have to spend money to do it. You don't have to buy things to do it. But just do something to create that sense of safety and personal space for yourself. Let's go ahead and see what your spirit message is for the week, Cancer. And as always, guys, if you like the decks that I'm using, I always have a link in the description if you want to go get them for yourselves. I encourage you guys to get into the cards and to, you know, work on your intuition. And I always like to pick cards that have a lot of images that make it easier for you to kind of look for messages and symbols. So feel free to check those out. And watch your moon sign and rising sign video too. Some weeks those may resonate with you or they may help you more. So you have Eris that's coming up here. Oopsie. As your spirit message for the week. So Eris is the goddess of chaos or disorder. And this doesn't concern me coming up for you, because that's what a lot of the message has been here so far, right? About you being able to kind of get into that sense of inner peace and, you know, just quiet all of those heavy emotions that are coming to the surface, or being able to release them. So it's going to feel like chaos for some of you. But, you know, what's happening is it's a part of the release. And what this card is asking you to do when this card comes up, it's asking you to let go of guilt. Like, maybe you've been blaming yourself or you've been judging yourself for the way things have been turning out in your life so far, or the way certain things have been or relationships have been. But this card is asking you, and what Spirit is telling me to tell you, Cancer, Spirit is saying you need to tell Cancer that Cancer is not responsible for the decisions other people make. Even if we're talking about children, or adult children, or children whom you have raised, right? You're not responsible for the choices or the decisions that they make. Each person has free will. Each person makes their own choices, and you cannot blame yourself for the choices or the decisions other people make. Or if you worked really hard in a relationship to try to salvage a relationship, but that person is giving into being low vibrational, or they're not ready to do their emotional work, or they're running away from intimacy, or they're giving into some kind of an addiction or some kind of criminal lifestyle or something. You know, they're kind of on that path, and that's a part of their karma and their life lesson. It's not your fault. You can't go in there and change their mind. You can't go in there and pick them up and, you know, rescue them out of it as much as you might want to, because you love and you care so much. But it's not your fault. What other people do is not your fault, and it's not something that you can keep blaming yourself for. And your life or your circumstances may not be perfect, but again, the lesson here is that there's certain things that are out of our control. We can't control everything. Yes, the law of attraction is real. Yes, we can manifest, but at the same time, there's certain things that are out of our control. We can't control every element of life and of the universe, especially when it involves other people. So this card is asking you to just kind of release that sense of obligation, that sense of responsibility. It's not your responsibility. Stop blaming yourself. Stop being so hard on yourself. That's the main message. You know, once you can do this, and as you're releasing this in the Taurus full moon, I have a feeling the next 6 to 8 months, Cancer, for you guys, and we'll see what comes up in the readings, but I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of new people and new situations coming in that are going to be much more loving and, you know, being much more like giving back to you, especially if you're one of those Cancers where you feel like you give all the time and you get nothing back. This release is going to open the shift so that you can finally receive. Okay, my darlings? Be sure to watch your moon sign and rising sign, like I said. If you would like to do a private reading, I'm more than happy to do that for you. If you click on the Calendly link in the description of the video, you can schedule a private reading with me there. And my dears, please, please, please check out the love readings for November. Even if you don't care about love life, like even if you're already happy in your love life, or you're very happily single and you're not looking for someone, because since these changes are happening, for the November love readings, I decided to channel. I completely and totally stepped aside. I let Spirit speak. And anytime I let Spirit speak, you know, there's a lot of wonderful messages that come in. So even if you're not looking for love per se, there still could be things in those November love readings that could be helpful for you. And you guys will have to let me know how you feel about the channeling. I am thinking about stopping doing the CROSSWATCHER videos. So maybe if you want to compare the CROSSWATCHER videos and the channeling video for November and see how you feel about that. But I'm thinking of maybe once a month doing a channeled message for each zodiac sign. Every week, you guys will still get this reading every week. But I'm thinking of once a month doing a channeled message instead of doing the CROSSWATCHER stuff. So you guys let me know. Majority will rule. Again, my dears, I thank you for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and I'm wishing you a fabulous week.